Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeons of Dredmor. Didn't have a fantastic run last time in episode 1. We had a decent run, and that's not so bad for just getting your toes wet. Again, we're going to create a new character here, go with Dwarvish Moderation. Now, I think last time I tried to get a little too fancy. I went random skills, but I don't really have the skills to make use of those random skills. So this time, I'm building off of a guide that I saw online for new players, which I most certainly still am. So we're going to go with Axe Mastery, Mace Mastery, Dual Wielding, what were I'm trying to remember off the top of my head here. Berserker Rage, which we had last time, which basically increases our fighting power. Deadshot, which reduces the amount of times that we miss. Assassination, which deals critical blows more often. And we're going to take Indiana Jones Archaeology here as well, so that we can deal with traps a little bit more effectively. Now again, we will be Thornforg and see how much better we do this time. So we're going to go back into the Dungeons of Dredmor. There's some notes here. Check it out. Before, I used to have to pick up these lockpicks and then drag them onto my character, which was a pain in the ass. I've turned on auto-looting, so now I can just walk over things, which is much, much better. Wow. Did I get hit by that? No, it was only the Diggle there with the trap. So we'll murder this Diggle, and then we'll take care of this trap for experience. Now, basically, the way we're going to be playing this one is a little bit different than the way we played the last one. Instead of focusing on, like, everything at once, getting a bunch of magic, getting a bunch of, like, weapon masteries, instead, we're just going to focus on getting experience, and then any item we get that is not related to our character build, so a mace or an axe or, you know, some kind of armor that I don't already have, I'm going to turn it into money at the place where you can buy and sell things. And I'm going to use that money to buy better and better equipment. Now, I've done a couple of practice runs with this, which I know is kind of bad form. A lot of people don't like practice runs, but I needed to get a little bit more familiar with the game so that we could see some rapid progression here. Exactly the same thing I did with Isaac. And the build seems to work out pretty well. And look at that, I got a crude steel axe right off the bat. There is a stone axe there. Might as well dual wield them because I have that dual wielding mastery. Picked up a wand of something there, but I'll probably end up selling that. Now this is a really nice build for people who are brand new at the game. And I'm speaking from experience there, to be sure. Because you don't have to focus on too much. All you gotta do is make sure you're always attacking and always have a lot of health, and you will have a lot of money if you stick by this. Now we're gonna look for traps, because traps are probably the easiest way here in the early game to build up our experience. And one of the mistakes I made last time was probably going down to the second floor, or I guess the first basement floor, too quickly. I should have leveled up a few more times at the very least before I tried to tackle the second floor. In fact, I should probably be level 3 or level 4 by the time I go down. A little bit of a tongue twister there. Nope! Well, that's why you should always walk slowly when you play the Dungeons of Dredmor, because there's traps pretty much everywhere. And, you know, beyond taking damage there, I could have gotten some experience for that as well, but oh well. Now I can step on this pentagram here. It'll teleport me across the map. Sometimes that's great, because it's good for escape. Sometimes it's terrible, because you end up going to a place where you don't want to be. Wow, murdering these things really quickly. After I kill this one, I should level up. Indeed I did. Now the second part of this guide is that it's very simple, because all we want to do is level up our axe mastery, or axemanship. That's a much more manly name for it, I would say. Until we get all the way up here to Norwegian Axe NATO, and that's something that's going to allow us to attack everything in like a 3x3 grid surrounding us. So we're going to level up pretty basically by just going into putting our points into axemanship right off the bat. Now, can I pick up these Zorkins? Indeed I can. I only have 26 Zorkins right now, but that's okay. Now I will want to go back to where I was before by taking these pentagram elevators. But these corridors seem to be pretty chock full of money, and since money is a big objective for me right now, something I'm going to be focusing on, and of course we'll continue disabling traps as well. Again, disabling traps, great way to get experience. You see I need 250 experience, I only have 20 right now. Now it looks like I opened up something here. What is that? Bony wand. Well, we won't be using wands in this video, but a little bit later on, hopefully I'll get a chance to discuss wands. Again, this seems like a good time to mention, if you have any tips or any tutorials that would be useful for me to see for this game, please let me know. I know the general idea of this Let's Play is, you know, I'm kind of fumbling my way through the game, but, you know, fumbling your way isn't fun when you make the same mistakes over and over and over again. I want to be learning constantly throughout the course of this. So one of the things that's most fun about the Isaac Let's Play is how you can see my progression from the very beginning of it, where, you know, I'm not doing so hot and I lasted like 10 minutes, to now, where I'm actually, you know, making hour-long videos. Well, I don't think that trap is necessarily on our radar right now, because we only have a 40% chance to defeat it. So we'll just continue taking out things like this down here, and we'll put more points into our trap disarming ability a little bit later, once we get further along in our build here. Right now, we're just focusing on Norwegian Axe NATO. Now, we have an Uber chest here. I have no idea how to open those. Have never been able to. There we go, another trap. Oh, only 45% chance. You know, I like those odds, but for now, I'm trying to play better safe than sorry, because things can go really badly, really quickly in this game. Just got a wooden shield, but I won't equip that because I have dual wielding. Looks like we've stumbled across kind of a treasure room here. We'll continue picking all this stuff up. Now, you'll notice I'm not identifying a lot of this stuff before I pick it up. That's because, another trap I don't want to disarm. That's because I don't really want to worry myself too much with it. You can see I could go and look and see. This is a handy wand, but I'm going to be selling it anyway. So right now I'm sticking by the KISS acronym. We're going to keep it simple. Break the statue of Dredmor for some heroic vandalism. Disarm any chances, or any traps I have a chance to. Well, that actually looked like it might be a decent robe there. What do I have here? 3 armor. 3 armor. This looks better, I think. I still don't know what all of those stats mean down there at the bottom. Burliness, sagacity, nimbleness, caddishness, savvy, stubbornness. But just through a cursory glance, it seemed like this was a little bit better. But we'll see. You'll notice I'm picking up a lot of minerals. Those sell for a lot when I go to sell them to that pig man whose name I've forgotten. But now I'm thinking about Seinfeld, so it's all good. So there's a staircase downward. There are many staircases. We don't have to take that one. And actually, the fact that there are many staircases is really useful. Because let's say you go downstairs and end up in a situation where you're in like a really tough spot. Just come back upstairs, find another door, and then go back down. Alright, so we got Brax. Open our inventory, and we're going to sell everything to him that is not food. So gnarled club. Orb, obviously all these ingots. We don't need any mana. Don't think we need that. Don't wield swords. Look at how much money I've amassed already. Don't need those shields. I've amassed 1,800. I can't buy that helmet, which would be a shame because that would be a pretty good upgrade. I could buy some maces, but those don't really appeal to me right now. Well, I guess for now, we will just be saving our money. The fact that we have a lot of it is really good as well, because it means we can buy food if we ever come across one of those food vending machines. I think it's a drink vending machine right there, but if we ever come across a food vending machine, we can buy some food, because I'm pretty low on it right now, and food is obviously going to come in handy. Oh, got another treasure room here, and another trap to disarm. We're very near to our next level. Now, our axe masteries that we're picking up with each level don't tend to be that significant. They're a little bit passive, I would say, right off the bat, but Norwegian Axe NATO is a little bit different. We'll talk about that as we get to it. So we have to find magical artifact Plumper, the Harbinger of Lotuses, and use it on the monolith. Well, I don't know what half of the things that she said mean. Oh, I guess we've got the item already, so now we just have to bring it to a monolith, which is, I assume, like the 2001 A Space Odyssey type monolith? Otherwise, I'm very confused. So right now, because our axe is leveled up pretty significantly, and we're doing a lot of critical hits and getting a lot of Berserker Rage as well, which causes us to do more damage, taking out rooms full of enemies is not a problem. So now we're going to go into axe training one more level until we get to Norwegian Axe NATO, just a great name. And when we get to that, we can really start leveling out other things. I'm not sure what I'm going to level out next. I haven't really gotten that far with most of my builds, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So we got a Diggle. Haven't seen too many of those so far, but not a problem, as you might guess. Picked up a plum there, which is great because, as I've mentioned, I'm really low on food right now. Got a hefty stick. What is that? Plastic ore. Alright. That doesn't seem to be... Well, what do I know? I'm not a mining engineer. But still, I've never heard of plastic ore before. Need to add that to Minecraft. Got a wooden shield, another trap to disarm, and a third trap to disarm. Now, with the food vending machine, what should we buy? You know, Dire Sandwich is a really great item to have, but I might be better off getting, like, a couple of fresh steaks. Or I can only get one fresh steak. What else can I get, though? Awful. I don't want to get... It's offal? I don't know. It's in Lutefisk, but I can find Lutefisk. We'll buy a Chevreuse cheese log as well. Don't want to waste too much money, because I am doing well on health so far. Oh, and there, we're right back at the beginning. Having explored I'd say, you know, maybe half of the map so far. We'll continue picking up a lot of stuff. Should come across another vendor reasonably soon. Where is this blobby? I can't see him, he's behind the wall, but should still be able to take him out pretty quickly. Yeah, so if we come across another vendor, then we'll be able to get rid of all the stuff that we've amassed. And the good thing about selling a lot as well is that you never become over-encumbered, which can actually be a problem if you're trying to save things to use them on, like, you know, tinkering or crafting, which I haven't gotten into yet again, but, you know, intend to in a later video. But for now, let's just keep it simple so I can show off more of the mechanics of the game. Again, these guys pretty much all dying 1 or 2 hits because of my Berserker's Rage, so I'm pretty... I wouldn't say I'm necessarily overpowered for where I am in the game right now, but I'm certainly doing quite well on the attack front for where I am. I'm not at risk, let's put it that way. Ooh, almost missed a trap up there. Then we will come back around this way. And it looks like we've got another big haul here. More enemies that I'm largely unconcerned about. But it's funny how quickly the difficulty ramps up. Like, if I was to go down to that next floor, you would see me get probably my ass kicked pretty much immediately. Let's check out this helmet. Is this better than my fedora? No, I believe my fedora, which I start with because I took archaeology, actually has 4 armor. So, no need for that. We recover a little bit of health as we walk around here, so we don't need to worry too much about getting back to full health right now, because we'll get it just by walking around. Alright, so it looks like we've got to kill Bin Zarzar, the Drinker of Mechanisms. Yeah, I'll accept that. Obviously, upon completing these missions, you get certain rewards. And I believe they will all take place on the first floor here. But first I have to figure out where the heck I should be going next. Looks like I've explored everything up in that area. One of my few complaints about the game is the mini-map is so small, I can't figure out where I've been and where I'm going. Looks like I couldn't see a trap there. Oh, and only 45% chance on that trap. So I will avoid getting rid of that. Let's come down here. Take out some more of these crusty diggles. Ah, and here we've got something good. This is the Anvil of Krong. So if we put our crude stone axe on here, it will imbue it with some kind of special power. Oh, here we go. So it curses our enemies with weakness. So now when it hits them, it'll have a chance to curse them with weakness, which essentially means, if I remember correctly, or if I'm intuiting correctly, that they will do less damage when they attack me, assuming they don't die in 1 hit. So this is going to be really useful for taking out things like bosses, as well as enemies that simply do not die in 1 hit, which isn't a lot anymore, but once we get down to that 2nd floor, obviously, things will change. Found a diamond, not sure how valuable that is in the scope of this game. I believe there's 2 anvils per floor, so it would be nice if we could find that 2nd one before we go down. We've still got a fair amount of time. Oh, is that a trap? It is a trap. We've got a fair amount of time before we level up. So, no rush, certainly. We'll just continue looting here. Worst case scenario, we have to go back and actually talk to that vendor. Oh, Lord. You can see that animation that happened meant he was probably cursed with weakness. But I'm not 100% sure. So just take my word for it. So we'll continue on to the right here. Open the door. More diggles, again, not a problem. Accidentally let him attack me first. Obviously, you gotta worry about things like turn order in this. So if you got a guy who's rushing at you, you want to make sure that maybe you're using the spacebar to just stand in the same spot for a little while. Otherwise, you could end up walking into him and he'll get the first strike on you, which, you know, doesn't make a huge difference against these guys, but later on, depending on what kind of enemies you're fighting, you can get yourself in trouble. That was a perfect situation right there. Let's take another look right here. If I was to walk forward or down, that blobby would get a chance to hit me before I hit him, so instead I hit the spacebar to basically forfeit my turn. He walks into me, and there we go. Whoa! Didn't even see a trap there. But that's okay, still doing well on health. Found a little bit more treasure. Really, exploration is so key in this game, as it is, you know, in The Binding of Isaac. But because you'll often stumble upon these rooms where there's just an unbelievable amount of treasure. Did I just pick up a toque of Canada? I did. It's got the Canadian flag on it. Oh, that's nice. Keeps your ears warm, eh? Looks like I killed something by accident. Here comes the Diggle. Destroyed in 1 hit, essentially. Yet another food vending machine. I'm starting to get over-encumbered almost. Yeah, I'm going to need to head back to the vendor, or a new vendor, as soon as I can find one. Looks like there's an awful lot of good items here. Thank God I didn't buy a dire sandwich, because I just picked one up. How much? Man, only like 6 spots left in my inventory. Picked up another recipe that I will never use over the course of this video. Picked up some Loot Fisk, but that's okay, because Loot Fisk is stacking. And I can Give that to the Loot Fist God, even though I don't know what it does. Almost over encumbered here. And there's the second level. I just walked over the trap like a dumb idiot. Thank God. I was hoping. I had an intuition that he was in here. So let's open up. And we'll sell him everything that is not food or lockpicks. I'll hold on to those lockpicks because those are good for experience. Actually, let's sort our inventory because that should set it up into... Yes, okay. So we're going to want to sell everything. Up here on the top row, like thrown items. Magic wands, shields. Sadly, the Duke of Canada is going to go. Foppish tunic. No need for those. Wand of Laser is going to sell for a lot, I think. Yeah, over 1,000. There we go. We've got all this healing items we want to keep. And then we'll get rid of all these items we can. I believe that item on the far left is a quest item. So we can't sell it. Or the god would be very angry at us. We'll resort our inventory here. Still some things in my my skill bar down there at the bottom that I could sell, but oh well. I got a one-armed leather jacket here. That looks pretty darn cool, I gotta say. But unfortunately, I think I'm going to spend my money on the crude steel axe instead. So we'll buy this. And then equip it. Drop this back into my inventory. That's something, again, we can sell to this guy right here. Didn't get a lot of money for it. But some is better than nothing. What do I have for armor right now? Would that leather jacket be a good investment? 3 armor. Leather jacket is 3 armor. Probably not a good investment. Get some flippy floppies, but those are not really necessary at this point, I would say. We'll just continue our quest out here. Almost ready to go downstairs, but I would like to at least get the Axe NATO before we continue. I'm doing really well in terms of my attack power right now. Obviously, because only 40% chance of success, but I have to break that to get by it, I think. So we're going to have to take some damage here, I believe. Let's try it one time. Took some damage again. Got hit by another lightning bolt again. There we go, finally. What I was saying is I'm doing pretty well for attack power right here because I got these 2 axes, one of which is imbued with a little bit of extra power. And I've got 2 levels of axe mastery. So actually attacking enemies is not going to be a problem for me right now, but I'm still a little bit lacking in terms of overall skills that I would need to succeed on the next floor, because the next floor, pretty damn tricky. I don't know if I've ever gotten past it in my Dungeons of Dredmor career. So get this cheese, bash open this chest, sadly no items. I think when you bash open a chest rather than using a lockpick... Oh, I sold my lockpicks, didn't I? That was stupid. When you bash open a chest rather than using a lockpick, you have an increased chance to not get whatever's inside of it. So we'll kill these diggles in 1 hit, I believe. Well, some of them take 1.5 hits, as in they require hitting me in order to die, to lose that last little sliver of health. Luckily, we can just kick open these doors, destroy the baddie in 1 hit, pick up whatever that mineral was, curse him with weakness, and continue walking forwards. Basically cleaned out this floor, although it still looks like there's a fair amount of space left in this dungeon. Something you might notice is that a lot of these runs take a pretty substantial amount of time. I mean, good run in Isaac could take up to an hour. It can be a little bit longer in this game. So I'm very nearly leveled up. I'm thinking about going down to the next floor down now. Remember, there's a staircase very close by, but I feel like there's a little bit of exploring left to do. Again, I'm squinting here to look at the map. Just stupid step on that arrow trap. Oh well, we'll come back around here. I think by killing these remaining diggles, we should be able to level up. What I need 3 more experience. There's a sickly diggle. There we go. Okay, so we've leveled up. We'll get Norwegian Axe NATO, and I'll demonstrate use of that, and then we'll start thinking about how we're gonna tackle this game from now on. We've gone through the preliminary stages here. Where was that staircase? Here it is. Alright, we'll go downstairs and see if this is a good point of entry for me. Looks good because we've only got to deal with 1 baddie here. A little bit stronger than the baddies on the last floor, but still not bad. Pick up all these items. Disarm the trap? I guess not. Now, we've got blobbies again, but they're more difficult blobbies, as you'll see. And really, we got to be a little more cautious with the enemies we come across on this floor. We saw zombies last time. I can't remember, but I believe I got to the second floor last time. Trap the cone for my head. But I died pretty soon on the second floor because I believe I got killed by a buff wearing off, which is a pretty bad way to go, honestly. Because you don't really know what happens. It just takes you by surprise. That happens a lot in this game. You'll just be walking along. Oh, I stepped on a trap, and now I'm dead. Kind of similar to what just happened right there. We'll kill the zombies, then we'll back up and maybe be able to disarm these traps. Okay, good. So that means I don't have to walk over them to get to these bookshelves, which largely prove useless to me anyway, as I'm just getting recipes that I will likely never use over the course of this video, unless... Oh, stupid. Unless through some divine course of action, I end up finding myself in a great position. Okay, let's back these guys into where I am here. Are they both following me? What did I just get hit? Oh, the Electro Blobby. It shot me with some kind of lightning bolt. Maybe I won't show off the Axe NATO here. And I should eat something. Let's eat one of these grilled steaks. Now, of course, the bright side about being on this harder floor... Yeah, we got a bucket. The bright side about being on this harder floor is that we don't have to worry so much about experience, because that should come a little bit more quickly. Alright, now, we're going to try to get these guys lined up in a... kind of a pattern where they're all close to me. But I don't think that's going to happen. So maybe this is not the right time to use Axe NATO. Unless... if I get the... there we go. Okay, now, equip Axe NATO, use right click, and as I hold it, you can see those red squares are where my attack is going to be. So I can essentially attack two of them at once, and I think it does a critical attack on both of them as well. Well, it does a pretty substantial attack on them in any case. Now there's a 13-turn cooldown. But that's okay, we should murder the one right there. Then Death will die pretty quickly. Death doesn't seem that menacing, which is kind of surprising considering its name. In any case, you can see why Axe NATO is so useful. Now, of course, I will be trying out different builds over the course of these videos, but this one seemed like a good one because in the last one I got a little bit overwhelmed by how complicated things were. Now, again, we've got two enemies going on here. You know what, let's equip our Wand of Bling with Shift 6 here, and instead of our normal course of action, we will use that to attack our enemy here. Which did some damage. Maybe not as much as I would have liked, but that's okay. Then we'll just go back to chopping with our axe. That worked pretty well. I'm in Berserker Rage right now, so these enemies should die pretty quickly. The blobbies in particular don't have very many hit points. One more hit on Death. Okay, I'm pretty low on health. Got to be a little bit more careful. But hey, there's another Dire Sandwich, so that's good. We will break the fancy urn. Pick up the Dire Sandwich, break the fancy urn. Nothing in both of those fancy urns? Bash open these chests, because I don't have any other options, really. Not disarm that trap, sadly. But we'll bash open this chest. As you can see, inventory is doing pretty good, and there is a staircase down to the 3rd floor, but I definitely don't want to do that yet. Let's take this pentagram transport. Now, here is a room that seems a little bit daunting at first, but could actually be useful. Oh, I should really eat something. Could be useful if we get surrounded by enemies here. Because our Norwegian Axe NATO should allow us to do a lot of damage here. Let's see. Okay, we'll use the Axe NATO. Did a lot of damage. Killed one of the zombies, but I am taking a lot of damage as well. I need to eat something, or else I am in a very difficult spot. But maybe I can get the Diggle to walk over some traps. Let's come back this way. Walk over the trap. Walk over the trap. Oh god, they almost flanked me there. Okay, we got the Diggle to walk over the trap. Now let's see if we can get them into his... Oh, bad move on my part. I can kill this one in one shot now, I believe. Okay, how's the zombie doing? I can definitely take him out, but I might take more damage than I would like. Oh, I got lucky. You can see that he had this thing called Blackjack that came over him. That means I stunned him for a turn. So everything turned out better than expected in that room. Still not very close to leveling up. I would have hoped to have been a little bit better off by now. Can't even disarm that trap, but that's okay, because sometimes these traps actually come in handy for us. Let's destroy the Electro Blobby, or the Toxa Blobby, I've forgotten what it's called. That's okay. We got our Berserker Rage. Sadly, we will not be able to get to that Toxic Blobby in time to make it work for us. But that's okay. We'll just wait here while he comes. Replenish our health a little bit. Not very much. And when this guy dies, we can hopefully eat something. Right. Let's eat some Parmigiano cheese. Pick up some more items that could be useful to me in the future. Ooh, and leather armor. And that's almost got the skills that I need. Really taking a while to kick open this door. Alright, a single death. Should be able to take him out without too much trouble. Sadly, I've really got to upgrade my trap skills. 'Cause, oh, Lord. What is that? It's a robot fish man with knives for hands? Looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon. Combined with my worst nightmare. Walk on the trap. Thank you. Didn't do a whole lot of damage. Let's use our Wand of Bling again. Shift 6. So I can hit it from range, because it's really the only way I can do damage to these things from a long distance. Oh lord, and that's out now. Let's go to our Bony Wand now. Shift 7. Did nothing. It did nothing at all. We did equivalent damage to each other there, which is not great. Okay, Unfriendly AI is dead. And it left a candle in its wake. How very Princess Diana of you. It's the first time I've ever come across that. Luckily, we got a lot more food in here. Got some more cheese. Aged Danish. Oh, it's probably aged cheese and a regular Danish. Well, we'll murder this Electro Blobby because we know it can attack us from range, which is a disaster. With my current build. Let's go upstairs and see if I've not been in these rooms yet. I think I have been in this area before. But, hey, this is a good opportunity to sell all of our stuff. So again, we'll sort by things that are and are not food. Get rid of all of this. Almost over 10,000 here in terms of health. Which is pretty substantial, like... Or sorry, not in terms of health, in terms of money. And we'll resort. So I can buy some pretty damn good items, if only I could come across some good ones as well. Now, doing pretty well here. Again, this is a much more methodical game than Isaac, so I gotta realize that in Isaac, you know, it's okay to be impatient sometimes. You can still succeed while doing that. In Dungeons of Dredmor, that's pretty much a one-way ticket to hell and back. And what do we have in here? These rooms are usually good because they give you a ton of items. Anytime you see the target practice things, you know you're going to be doing okay. Because there's at least going to be a ton of bolts in here, which is what I just picked up right there. So at the very least I can sell those. Disarm. And we're getting a little bit closer to level 5 here. Am I at the point where I could possibly take down the boss? Absolutely not. But again, not a bad start so far. Got a mossy shield. I'm not going to use that, but the stats on that actually look pretty good. Got a room full of enemies here. But again, between my Norwegian axe NATO, it always feels strange to say that. Between my Norwegian axe NATO, since it sounds like ask NATO, doesn't it? You're like, well, what do the Norwegians want? They just want to ask NATO, man. They're really into democracy. Oh, Lord. It's a Jin. I feel like I'm playing Golden Sun again. What have I done? This is prime axe NATO territory. Oh, that thing does a lot of damage. Let's back it up and get these things to chase us. That's a pretty valuable skill in this game. What did that do? I wanted to murder it. Now, if we can get this thing chasing us, it's possible we can use the Axe NATO again in the near future. Okay, it's nearly dead. Maybe we can actually kill it. I'm kind of amazed with myself right now. I didn't expect that to happen. But I picked up a lot of experience for that. And as long as I'm in Berserker Rage, I'm pretty deadly to some of these enemies. All that, and all I got was a club that I can't even use. I suppose I could use it, but hey. We'll just continue onwards here. I didn't even notice this chest before. Another simple wooden shield. Again, as you walk, you automatically replenish both health and mana. So, I don't always have to heal when I lose health, but it is kind of proper form because you can't heal on the fly very well. You gotta at least have some time with which to do it. Again, this is good Axe NATO time. Killed one of the things, didn't do nearly any damage to the other one. I can just back it up. If these guys, again, just keep following me for as long as they can, I can get them into Axe NATO territory one more time. That worked out pretty well. Though we saw a little bit of a frame rate issue there. Again, I assure you, that's purely my fault, not the fault of the game itself. So we'll continue onwards in here. Graves that cannot be robbed. A little bit low on health. Thanks for telling me, guys. I could have just died right there. Eat a whole box. A whole wheel. A whole round of Parmesan cheese. And then head into the next room again. Pretty tough rooms that we're running into here, but this is not a terrible situation. Because, oh lord, maybe it is a terrible situation. I gotta heal. Luckily, I'm pretty far away from that enemy, so I'll just use my sandwich and start walking away. Gotta be a little bit more methodical. I need them to surround me. There we go. And then it's good axe NATO time. So that did really well, actually, again. I can see why the axe NATO is a pretty solid choice, especially for new players. But I'm looking forward in future videos to checking out different builds as well. Oh man, another room. This is how they get you. They just start to wear you down. Can I get them to surround me here? There we go. That means it's axe NATO time. Which worked pretty well. But I'm taking a lot of damage as well. I need to get further away from them if possible. It might be impossible, actually. Oh lord. They got me boxed in. How do I get out of this one? Well, I guess we're going to have to use our Axe NATO again and pray for some critical hits. Oh, I can't survive much more of this. Do I have any wands that I could use? Bony wand. Oh, Lord. This is bad. I've got bolts. Do I have a crossbow? I do not have a crossbow. How are we going to do this? No wands to use. I guess I'm just going to have to kill the zombie, pray that the zombie dies, and then get the heck out of there. Okay, it did. And I can. But I'm in a difficult spot. And remember, I can't really eat because eating only heals me 1 health per square. So if I'm going to eat, I have to get at least 2 squares away from it. You know what we can do is we can go upstairs here, where we've probably already been, and then take a second to heal. So let's pull out another... we'll pull out this grilled steak. And then all we have to do is really hit the spacebar 10 times until we're done eating, and then we can come back downstairs. We got incredibly lucky that that staircase was there. Apparently I could have just killed it as well. Hey, we've almost leveled up as well. This might be the best I've ever done. I actually went into the configuration files and deleted all my old high scores, with the exception of the one that we got last time, because... Oh, what's going on here? There. Because I wanted to show, like... The scoreboard, I think, should show my progress versus my own Let's Play, not my own, like, practice runs that I've done. So we'll murder death here. Murder, death, kill. We leveled up, so we don't need to heal again. What should we get now? Dual wielding, maybe, is better, or Berserker Rage. When you defend, there's a chance to become really angry. You miss even less. Attack now with weapons at the same time. Your offensive abilities are increased for a short while. You automatically employ the skill when the chance presents itself. You know what, let's go with that. That seems like it could be useful. Maybe in conjunction with my Axe NATO, if it works like that. For now, you can see, like, I didn't even see that trap. I'm barely surviving on the 2nd floor. So the 3rd floor is not even an option right now. This looks like a good room. What do we have? Oh, we have the Lutefisk god. Alright, let's give him all of our Lutefisk, which I only have 3. But still, I don't know what that does. But surely it has to do something, or they wouldn't have put it there. Got another chance to enchant a piece of equipment here. Well, we might as well enchant our same axe, so we can continue to use that. Looks like it does a little bit more damage now, and continues to curse our enemies with weakness. This has been a surprisingly long run. I'm getting a little bit proud of myself here. I wouldn't have thought that it was possible. Sadly, didn't find anything too useful there. How about here? No? Alright, we'll murder that trap and then murder this zombie. And almost get murdered by the zombie. That's the way they get you in this game. They just whittle you down. It never happens quickly. It always takes a while. Don't necessarily want to go down to that next floor just yet. Do some more exploring in this direction. More toxic blobbies, but again, not too much of a problem now that I've gotten one more skill on this floor. It's amazing how much difference that does make. Do some heroic vandalism here. This should give us plus 100 experience on the second floor. Not just plus 50. And obviously that's to keep the balance there a little bit. But we still only get plus 6 experience for getting rid of that trap. And considering we need 1300, it's not really going to get it done, is it? But disabling traps is a really good way to level up right off the very beginning of the game. I'm starting to think archaeology might be one of those skills that I don't really need that much. I've already been down here, but I have not been all the way down here, I think. Let's pop this open. Taking out Diggle's super easy. Starting to feel like kind of a Dungeons of Dredmor badass here, which means it's probably about the time that I'm going to get cut down. Here comes Death. Death does a pretty sizable amount of damage, but not as much as I do. Actually, we do a lot of damage as well. I did 23 damage on that last hit. I'm used to doing like 3. More plastic bolts. A little bit more experience for taking out that trap. Don't think there's anything up there. I think we might actually have to go down to the next floor right now. I don't think there's any other way that I haven't explored yet. Well, there's a way up. Oh, and here's a door I haven't used yet. Okay. Whoa. I just busted open that door with authority. Let's see if I can get surrounded here by all these guys. I know that seems like something you wouldn't want, but, you know, with the Axe NATO, things change. Well, whatever. Let's just use it right here. That worked pretty well. Destroying these electro blobbies. And yet another one. And yet another one. And another one. And like an 8th one right there. Okay. So we're doing quite well here. But still not nearly well enough to beat the game. Or so I've been told. Is that an... Oh lord, that's like a real enemy there. Like a champion. Well, we'll start with the Axe NATO. That's our go-to. That didn't do nearly as much as I needed it to. We'll take out this one death. Then see if we can just hack this guy down. This could be my death right here. Oh man, I succeeded. Okay. Kind of didn't expect that. Stepped on that trap. I gotta eat something very quickly. Let's eat this cheese round. And we'll use the Axe NATO, as we always do. Took out the Electro Blobby right off the bat. Only 10 health. Things could go badly at any point in time here. But I'm also kind of running out of health myself, so I gotta be a little bit cautious. There's a trap. Please let me disarm these traps, thank God. Danish. Alright, well, let's eat the Danish. Or let's eat a Diggle Egg. We got tons of those. And hopefully we don't come across the nest of monsters anytime soon. Those are the ones that really get to you. We're killing these, like, higher level blobbies in one hit, which is huge. I never would have thought I could have gotten to that point. What do we have here? Just an enraged Diggle, again. Probably not too much of a problem. Although I could use another Diggle Egg, so we got tons of those. We'll eat those for more health. Disarm this trap, take out an enraged Diggle. Do you think they're enraged because I keep eating their eggs? We got like an alien situation going on here. One hit on them. Oh, it seems like if I follow the water, maybe we'll get something down here. Or not. Looks like I've already been in this room. Yes, because there are traps that I've uncovered there. When you uncover traps, it makes them much easier to see, which is obviously incredibly useful. Well, there's a door down. We're going to have to use that at some point. There we go. Perfect Axe NATO territory. There's one dead. This guy thinks he can take me. I don't think so. Still doing okay on health. And I got lots of items to sell should I, be able to find someone to sell them to. I'm kind of thinking we should just go downstairs. Maybe level... Oh, Lord. This might be a nest. There's only 3 enemies, but... maybe not nest territory. But still. Actually, that worked out pretty well. I'm amazed with my offensive power here. Isn't this the song that they play when there's someone to sell things to? Check out this recipe here. Royal Beatdown looks pretty cool, but this isn't Dead Rising. I probably won't be doing too much tinkering in this video. Oh, we found some Extra money. And a cake? That looks like a cake. Oh well. What do we have in here? Another fancy urn. A solution of gold. I love gold. A Herodric Lutefisk cube. Maybe I should have saved my Lutefisk and used it on that. Used it on the cube. Got a couple of these guys left. I'm into Berserker Rage, which is fine by me. These guys are nearly dead. I'm pretty powerful, actually. I'm surprised. It's very similar to, I'm trying to think of what game it is where, like Diablo, where it starts out, it's very difficult on whatever floor you're on, but then it gets easier the more you play. But then, of course, it gets much harder when you go down again. We're gonna re-imbue our Iznuzbo, the Warped Porpoise here. Looks like it does some fire damage now as well, so we should have not too much trouble taking out the enemies that we come across here. Come on. This one's already wounded. Whoa. It murders them in like one hit. Not like one hit, exactly one hit. Oh, okay, so we'll continue. I think we're in a position right now where we can go down to the 3rd floor. This is by far the best run I've ever had, and it's only my 2nd run on camera, which is pretty impressive. So let's go downstairs and see what we get down here. Oh, Lord, nice. I like what you've done with the floor down here, guys. Water doesn't look so hot, though. Okay, we got more of these Djinns. That's okay. Whoa, they do equivalent damage. Oh, Lord. Oh, they got me hemmed in. I accidentally stepped. I'm gonna die in like a second. This is the end. Please don't box me in. Let me out. Let me out! Okay, let me... I don't know. Is that a... That's like a boss as well. Or it looked like... Oh, God. 1 health left. Oh. Look at how quickly it can turn around. I thought I was doing so well, and then suddenly... Well, not suddenly, but still. Congratulations, I've died. 11,280. That is my highest score, even if I hadn't deleted all the other scores on the high score page. But hey, you can see it's 5 times better, roughly. Well, more like 4 times. Pretty much 4-fold improvement over my last video. So again, leave some comments. Let me know how you guys feel about the Let's Play so far, and I'll do my best to make it interesting for you guys, despite the fact that these are long videos. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.